You know what? Wait. Let me start this timer. Let me start. What's going on? It's E-Love here, and I'm trying to figure some things out and make some things happen. We're back at it again, and I'm tired of this camera. I have been doing everything in my power, given the time, my limited time to want to figure this out, and I have not been able to do this. I just recorded this on this camera, and it just blurred everything out, and then it also was ended up being full, and now I'm doing it again. We're all good though. We got 10 minutes on the clock. We actually at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. 29 seconds. All right, cool. My week. How was my week? Once again, it was good. It was productive. I'm Gucci. We good with this, and I love the route that I'm at. I'm going right now. I've been eating healthy, streamlining some things, making things a lot more enjoyable. With this being my fourth video, what I've been trying to do is kind of find a common theme throughout my week, or kind of life lessons that help me get through my week and allow me to be productive and successful, depending on how I gauge success for that week. I do use two different things to gauge my success for the week. Either, Eddie, you're being really productive, or Eddie, you are in a great mood. So either one of those things. Now, if neither one of those things happened, my week was horrible. But luckily, I have been having a combination of productive weeks and being in a good mood as well. And like that, today was just wonderful. Like Sundays, we have two different types of Sundays. Sundays out of school, and then Sundays when I'm in school. So Sundays when I'm in school is a deadline, like everything's due on Sunday at midnight. So that means I'm cramming, I'm writing all of my essays the last day on Sunday. So I'm like just nonstop doing stuff. And then there's Sundays where I'm not in school, and it's like, wake up, clean something, take a nap. Wake up, go to the gym, take a nap. Wake up, eat some food, take a nap. And I just love it. I love it so much. And that's what I did today. I did have a week off from school. My class starts on Monday, which this is my last class for my degree. I am so thankful and so happy and excited for this to be over with. But I'm also excited about this course. This is the last course, and I think it's going to be the best one of all of them. So it's just kind of just a culmination of everything that I've learned, and I have to put that into this one final paper. And luckily, I can do it on the business that I want, and I already know what I'm going to do. I'm excited for it. This is just the class hasn't even started, but I'm excited for this essay. But let's get back to it. So Sunday, doing nothing. I enjoyed it so much. But let's talk about everything that happened before Sunday. So the common theme for the whole entire week was just words have power. My dad, like even growing up, my dad and just my religious belief always taught me words have the ability to create or destroy things. And then as I just grew older, that mindset or that idea kind of evolved even more. Like the first person I ever dated in a long-term relationship, his vocabulary was so vast. Like I was real basic. Like I'm like, go, stop, no, yes, bad, good, sad, happy, like basic of all the language. And it wasn't until I met him and his ability to articulate himself and distinguish between the minute differences between something. So if I was not feeling well, I was either angry, sad, happy, or depressed. That's all the emotions I had. But his ability to articulate, well, I'm irritated, I'm frustrated, I just don't quite understand, or even I'm confused. I was like, confusion can lead to these things? That's quite interesting. No one told me this. So, but it's like, the thing that really caught my attention was his ability to appreciate art, his vast knowledge of the different eras of painting and just artists, between music and then different techniques between music. Like this man knew everything. Like he just had such a huge vocabulary that allowed him to learn so much about things. And that just made me realize, Eddie, you need to step your game up. But the thing that really changed my life overall, just because my family, my dad, my mom, my brothers, all kind of suffered from depression. Or we used to always say like we're depressed, we're bad, we're down, we're like stuck on the couch, like we're not doing anything. And I knew that I had to change something. But before that change, because remember, the person I am today has stemmed from me wanting to be productive and successful in life. And so the first thing that changed when it comes to my work, my vocabulary, and the way I would use words was going to be anxiety. I used to always have anxiety, like I was just beginning. Whenever I had to talk, I was super nervous. I mean, I had sweat stains, like it was called waterfalls. Like I had to go to the doctor and everything because it was so bad. Moist hands, sweaty hands, heart racing, and just stuttering unbelievably. And I realized I know that I had to master public speaking, because in order to achieve some things that I wanted in the future, I had to figure out this public speaking thing. And I'm going to contribute this to Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins exposed me to the science of when it comes to the emotions between the bodily response. Yeah, the bodily response to excitement and anxiety were the exact same thing. So if I was feeling anxiety, I would feel the heart racing, I would start sweating, I would just be really antsy and everything. But the same thing happened with excitement. But excitement does have a positive connotation attached to it compared to anxiety, which has a negative connotation to it. So when I was really getting ready to do something, I was like, "Hey, Eddie, we're not anxiety. We're not anxious or anything like that. We're excited. I'm happy to be able to do this. I'm gonna knock this out. I'm gonna learn some things. I'm gonna make some mistakes." And when I did that, I was able to keep my mind calm and focus on the goal at hand, compared to me focus on all the body, what's going on in my body and response. And when I felt anxiety, I was like, I don't want to do this. But when I changed to excitement, it kind of changed the game for me. So that was the first time I realized the real power of words that could change my life, because it allowed me to start doing, I was working on different presentations, I was speaking on stage, still not the best, but still I was getting better with it. I wouldn't shy away from these opportunities. I would just take it and go with it. And I would mess up and fail, and that was cool with me though. And then the next thing that kind of changed the game for me recently actually is I tend to over dramatize my life in general. I'm the main character energy. We gonna make it super dramatic, and it's made life so much more exciting. So for example, this is a bad example, but it is true. For example, I wish I was different, but this is what it is. So I would call my friends, and even if I knew they were at work, or maybe they were busy, or they said they were gonna call me, or they said they weren't available at this time, they actually called this time. But whenever I called you at that time, if you didn't answer, automatically I was like, "You hate me. You don't want to be my friend no more. You don't like me. This is over. I can't do this anymore. Woe is me." And I was seriously that dramatic. I'm a lot better. I have things under control. I talk to myself a lot, so we calm ourselves down. But that was an example of just me over dramatizing. And then I really would think that my friends didn't like me, because I would constantly say these things over and over again, that I would think that they didn't like me. And so that's the power of words. If you say things repeatedly, it starts to come true in your own reality, in your own perception. And the thing that I had to learn how to change was just my usage of the word depressed. I used to always say, "Eddie, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed." And then whenever I would say that, then I would go down this spiral, and I would start acting as though I was depressed. And so what does depression look like for most people? That means a loss of joy in doing things, sadness, not wanting to do anything, just low energy, just foggy mind, and just a hatred towards everything in life in itself. But I had to realize, once I started changing my words around depression, it kind of "Hey, Eddie, we're just having a little low moment. Maybe we're just bored." Even boredom to me would manifest as depression. I was like, "Oh, I'm bored. I have a lack of interest in things." Now I was just bored. That's it. So compared to saying bored and depression, you see, major difference. So let's talk about my week. Let's get in. I always give this whole backstory, and then my week is summed up. So we have a minute and a half. My week was good and productive and super joyful, but it's also because of my terminology that I use throughout my entire week. I was faced with a lot of challenges throughout the week, and a lot of times what I've heard people say, a lot during COVID too, is "This is hard times. It's really stress. We're struggling. We're going through a lot. We're overwhelmed." It's calm down, okay? So far, this workload has been the same since I started this company. So this is normal, and I can obviously prove after a year I can handle this. So I'm gonna need y'all to stop saying my plate's not full, but I do have things on my priority list I'm gonna take care of. And because I focus on that, I was able to get through a lot of things. Finally, this is my third time teaching this business class that I run, workshop, and killed it. But it's also because my mindset, I was like, "Eddie, even if I'm gonna make mistakes, there's always gonna be learning. I'm always improving my course. Every time I teach my course, I tweak it a little bit more. So I'm excited to know that I know in the long term, my course is gonna get better with time." But then also, I realized at first I was saying I wasn't a designer. And I was like, "Eddie, we are a designer. We're practicing, but we're gonna get better with it." So that allowed me to even start the project. Because back in the day when I would say I'm not a designer, I don't know what I'm doing, I would be hesitant to even start, compared to just doing it, tweaking it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So when I got through this week, I was just so freaking happy about it because I pushed through those things, and it made me really excited because I have some really. This next year is gonna be some extremely challenging. We have passed the 10-minute mark. I apologize for this. I would do better to structure these conversations a little more, or maybe we may have to change the game. I don't know. I'm excited. So yes, I was like, I'm excited for the future because I know there's a lot going on, but I know that I can handle it. As long as I don't allow myself to mentally picture things as, oh, Eddie, I'm being overwhelmed. Oh, Eddie, this is too much for me. If I know that I can handle it, I'll get done when I can get done. It allows me to approach things with less stress compared to thinking about the end, me falling, me collapsing, and just losing it. And another thing that also happened with the power of words is because I wasn't in school this week, I would get off work and I would have nothing like scheduled to do. And back in the days, I used to hate when my house was clean or hate the fact that my house was empty because it's like just me. And I would automatically say I feel lonely. And I didn't like it, like to the point like I would mess my house up just because a clean house felt empty. A dirty house, like at least I had those things to bother me, like Eddie, you should clean this up. So that plagued my mind a little bit. But I recently changed the way that I view this. Like, and this started in January. I would say whenever I was lonely, I was like, I'm learning to enjoy peace. This is what peace feels like. This is when everything is calm. I'm not chaotic. I don't have this whole bunch of things piling up for me to do. And bruh, I sat down this week and I did nothing. My house was clean, and I would watch TV like 30 minutes, eat my dinner, watch TV, and then I take a nap, and then I wake up, and then I just stared out my window. I put on some music, it was the nice little fall weather, nice little breeze, and I just enjoyed it for what it was. And I was like, wow, this is what peace is. And at no point did it register as loneliness, because loneliness is a negative connotation for me. And I was like, no, and you just got things in order. You finally got the time that you can actually relax and do nothing, and enjoy this compared to always being in a state of overwhelm and stress. And it was just so nice. And that's kind of one of the biggest things that I'm realizing. Like, words have so much power. Like, depending on the words you use, that is what's going to manifest. So if you say you're depressed, you can become depressed. If you say you're broke, you're going to become broke because you'll act as though you're broke. If you're going to be successful, you're going to be successful. You're going to believe you can do this. If you have that growth mindset, then you will get through these things. And that's kind of the biggest thing. This was a great week. And, oh man, peace is beautiful. Words are powerful. Let's get it. This video is done. I'm at 12 minutes. I apologize-ish. I'm also learning, so we'll do better. We'll figure this out. Maybe 7 minutes. We'll maybe do 7 minutes and then 20 minutes. We'll see what it is until I have time to really focus on these videos. Like I said, last class, I finished this class in December, and then I'll have so much more time open up to me. I'm excited to see what I'm going to do once I'm out of school, like the things that I can just knock out and get to, and then also the things that I don't have to do and do nothing. I'm going to enjoy it. With that being said, I'm E-Love. That's it for this video. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. Feel free to leave any comments down in the comments, like suggestions on how I can make this better, preference in times, or, just Eddie, you talk too much. Oh, Eddie, talk more. Or Eddie, get a different camera. I am working on this camera. I promise you. We're working on this, but this is getting it done. With that being said, peace out. Love you. Take care. Adios, amigos.